Okay, I've been watching some really nice chess videos and I'm inspired. I'm gonna play the Queen's Gambit. Declined. Knight there, I think we just play like this. Not gonna play the Nimzo just yet. Okay. Let's do this. My plan will be to get the knight on a6. His queen's gonna come over here. Now I'm gonna work in c5. He's trying to prevent that with this move. I think this is okay right here. So he could potentially isolate this pawn and get my knight out, hitting this. Gladly I will take. Alright, so now should I just avoid having an isolated pawn and hit his queen with some tempo? Alright, I'd like to play that move, so we're going with queen here. The intention to push this pawn at some point. Okay, how about, where can my queen go? Right here's good. My queen has nowhere to go. I'm gonna back her right up. Maybe I'll double up. I kind of want to double on the D file, not the C file. Well, that makes my life easy. So this knight can move. Maybe right up here. Bishop here. Okay, bishop to c6. Knight to g4. I'll just run that up. Run that plan for a moment. Oh, I'd really like my bishop to be here, opposing his bishop. I'm seeing so many tactical ideas, I just don't have the time. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Really. If he kicks my knight away, I'm gonna embrace that. It's perfectly fine by me. More weakness. I might even move my king over and play g5. Maybe I should push this pawn right now. Hit his queen. Trade some rooks. Hard to say here. I don't know exactly how I should proceed. Maybe I'm in no big hurry. My queen could be improved. Alright. Maybe I'll encourage a capture and double up. I do encourage that capture. It'll make my queen in a slightly better position. In my opinion, anyway. Perhaps not, but we'll see. I was expecting that. I should have known. Maybe I can just step up here. My queen's getting close to trapped. Maybe I'll just back up. Or maybe I should have came here. I'm not so afraid to have my queen here. When I push my pawn forward, it'll open up some possibilities. Maybe I'll even want to just push the pawn all the way up. Right there. I can free up my queen now. If takes, it frees up my queen. If not, man, my bishop doesn't like this position. Maybe I should just play her here. Her. Okay, maybe it's not a her, but alright. Everything's covered like this. Once again, I'm gonna... Okay. I'll have 3 attacks. I'm just gonna come right through. Take that knight, damage this structure here. Push the pawn, threaten to get my queen involved. If takes, I move my guy over here. He can get his rook to the 7th. Could be a good plan for him. Maybe I should anticipate this. Okay, I need this file here. And if his rook moves, he's in trouble, I think. Could even kick that knight. Is that necessary, though? But maybe it's a good tempo and I can have control over f4. That could be nice. King up. I like it. Let's kick that knight. I just want to stay up on time, so that's why I'm not thinking so long right now. So his knight's on pre. This knight can move, not sure so much where, maybe right here, because if... Oh! Maybe now I take the knight. That could be really cool, but no, I'm going to keep the pawn chain nice. Okay. Right there. Bishop here, dominating the knight. If pawn push, then I take. Queen there. Is there a tactic? No, there isn't. So we're just gonna hold the position down. This may be a drawn position, to be honest with you. Unless I can get at that knight, maybe with my king. That would be creative. Push this pawn. Not sure about that. I do have this move right here. Or my queen could go there as well. Okay, there's tactics now. Oh snap, that's dangerous. I have to do this. Only move. I don't know how to commentate this. This is a very awkward position for me. I have very little practice, if any, in these positions. I could be in trouble as a result of that move. And he forfeits on time. Very nice game. Yeah, I was really inspired by some recent videos I've seen. by
Wow, what a wonderful surprise.
okay, that was the computer. By Valery Lilov, 2400 rated player from Bulgaria. And I was watching some videos from Jesse Cry from America, and who else? Dana McKenzie, just a few great lecturers, and John Paul Wallace. I watched his coverage of Kasparov's games. Okay, so I played black in this case. Queen's Gambit declined. I really like the position I ended up getting. Semi-Slav. Sort of. And I don't know about this bishop there. Was that out of book? Yeah, that was clearly a mistake there. I don't know why I did it. I think it's because in the end games I've been having trouble with my bishop not knowing where to develop it. So since I played consistent with that idea, it worked out. But knight b d7 here was actually the book move, as I came to realize, sort of. But as you guys can see from the rating, I mean the judgment of the position, I'm not doing all that bad. Okay, wait, knight a6. I think that was very accurate. It's actually on the list, the top 5 moves. And the reason I think it was accurate was because it helped me out with my plan of playing c5. And it all came together. Yeah, him taking was definitely not the best idea. He needs to maintain this tension while he's better developed. You know, his pieces are more free, I guess. But his dark square bishop does have some trouble. Anyways, that being said, I think what he did just freed my position up. I played knight takes. Yeah, that was good. Whoops. So he took knight takes. Then he pushed his pawn. Knight takes d3 check. I was so relieved to see that move. That pawn push, yeah. I mean, look how great his bishop is. His pawn's on dark squares. I think giving up the light square bishop was a strategic disaster for him. Yep, d takes is a good move according to the computer. Rook over. Let's see what... Rook to c8. Let's see how that falls. So it's after the computer thinks for a while at a depth of 16, rook c8 does... Yeah, it does eventually become the best move, so that's quite accurate. Bishop e7, was that a good idea? Yep, one of the top 3 suggestions, so I'm playing really sharp here. I think it's because I understand the position much better than I used to. I wouldn't know how to play as black, and if you asked me to play this position before watching all those videos. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I made the best plan or anything, but the computer does like a lot of my moves, so I suppose that's a good sign, especially since I'm trying to teach you guys something. Alright, rook a c1, queen back. Okay, I think I may have made some bad moves here. Rook over there. Rook over, that was okay. I maintained a slight advantage. He plays that pawn forward, not the best move, creating 2 weaknesses. I'm hitting the pawn and then uncovering this guy, so I played my knight up there. Actually, that was inaccurate. Apparently provoking him to move his pawn wasn't such a good idea, because he had b5 here, and then b5 would have solidified the position. So I guess the computer wanted me to play something like, what, a6? That was an option, b6. So the light square bishop up here, hitting the knight, I guess. Yep, I see, and I think I did play my bishop there eventually. But knight out, pawn attacks, knight moves back, so I pretty much accomplished what I wanted. Maybe make some weaknesses. Knight over. And then I played rook up there. Apparently just taking on c1 was the best idea, according to the computer. Eventually planning to play b5. So if I took the rook, then I could play b5, I guess. Or that would be logical. Anyways, so rook up. Really not good. He had bishop e5 here. Didn't play, he just took, queen takes. So the psychology behind this move right here was... I remember how I told you guys while I was commentating during the match that I think he'll take and I'll take with my queen. And rook taking wasn't one of the best moves. So there was some psychology behind that. If you notice, your opponent likes to capture pieces a lot. He thinks he won a tempo here, but he didn't. I got my queen to where I wanted her, at least. But then he just played bishop over, and then I backed my queen up. And okay, so queen a8 here actually isn't so bad, because eventually, like I said, there's tactics where my bishop's here, going towards the king. And he did weaken his pawns a bit with that move. So I didn't lose. I mean, I only lost my advantage in a very superficial way, but my plan was still coming together. Some bishop takes, g takes. Computer didn't even suggest that plan, but I suspect that with some more inspection, the computer will like black's position. Let's see. We're at a depth of 16, depth of 17. So the computer considers it pretty much equal. But the computer really doesn't understand the concept of this double pawn weakness because we're not at the end game yet. The queens are on the board, but I'll bet you once some pieces come off, the computer's going to like black, and then that's why I played rook over there. And instead of taking, I just pushed the pawn, complicating the position a bit. I did a good job keeping him in time pressure at least. And yeah, like I said, computer likes my position when the pieces came off. Now, we were both in deep time trouble here. Not sure exactly if my plan was good. Let's see. Queen over. That was definitely a dangerous move for him. H6. That was the best move. Keeping everything together. Keeping this very important f6 square for my pieces. He played h4. That was smart. King h7 is what I could have played, but I just took. Now things get dicey. That pretty much forces this. I didn't force it. I could have played queen d4. Excuse me. Queen d4 up here. Yeah, adding defense to the pawn, keeping my queen centralized. So that was a cool thing. Maybe if I looked at the position longer, I may have seen that, but anyways, I went for the trade. Queen g5 check. Bishop blocks. And here we were both in too much time control to really abuse this position. And he just forfeited on time. So he did win a pawn, and now he's up a pawn. So white's definitely better in this endgame, but I mean, I held the advantage long enough to put him away on time, and he was quite a strong player. I think it was 19 something. Anyways, guys, thanks for sticking with me here. I know it was kind of a long video, but I wanted to run over it since there were some things going on that may or may not have been easy to understand.